Bulginaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing...
In this bulletin, first jab to be administered this week. SDL leadership in chaos. And illegal rental concerns LTA.
From the studios of FBC Suva.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says Fiji is prepared to pay for the COVID-19 vaccine doses if the need arises. Bainimarama says Fiji is not a big country, yet we are only guaranteed enough vaccines for 20% of our population through COVAX, and the timeline for when all of those vaccines arrive is uncertain. The first jab will be administered this week. The Prime Minister says they need many more boxes ticked in order to catch up to the developed nations, which already have public immunization campaigns well underway.
That is why we are working on a bilateral basis with our development partners, as well as with vaccine manufacturers, to procure more safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines as soon as we can.
He says the deployment of COVID-19 vaccines will be the most complex logistical effort in Fijian history. But the Prime Minister stresses they have the organizational capacity to pull it off.
We have real-life superheroes within the Ministry of Health who have the experience and know-how to lead this campaign. But they can't achieve that mission alone. This must be a truly national effort to succeed.
Bainimarama also thanked the organizations behind the COVAX facility, including Gavi, the WHO, UNICEF and the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Initiative. Kuritan Tulala, FBC News. It will take fairness to bring unity to the Social Democratic Liberal Party. It needs to start with the party president. This is the sentiment shared by SDL MP and former party General Secretary Andilitiang Yonimba Ravi, saying that the party president is not the only authority figure within SDL. Andilitia and others were advised to abstain from party affairs due to allegations of involvement with former leader Sitiveni Rabuka. Andilitia claims that party president Ratu Epeniso Thakumbau is taking the law into his hands. She admits SDL has been in chaos long enough and calls for a solution.
The quicker the House is put back into order, the better it is. Because we have a duty to those who voted the parliamentarians into Parliament. We have a duty to those who trust the party and what the party stands for. That is foremost.
We're certainly standing by their decision. And you know, we need to emphasize the fact that we are protecting the party.
The Land Transport Authority has raised concerns about illegal rental car operators using social media platforms to advertise their services and in some cases accepting clients who do not even have a driving license. Chief Executive Samuel Simpson confirms they recently went through 60 such advertisements on social media. Pranita Prakash has more.
Some private vehicle owners are advertising heavily on social media to rent out their vehicles despite knowing there are risks.
I did a recent troll of the adverts that were on Facebook, and there were over 60 adverts for rental cars, for taxis, for legal minivans. None of these have any permits to operate. Now, the really worrying thing, some of these organizations were advertising that they would rent you a vehicle even if you didn't have a driving license.
But they don't see the legal implications of it, and they just think of themselves. But they don't realize what impact they're creating and what kind of environment they may be creating for their own selfish needs. That is where the risk is.
The Land Transport Authority Chief Executive has labelled these vehicle owners as a risk to the society.
We need to work together to stamp that out and to eradicate it. And we are working with other agencies. As we need to broaden our approach. We need to have a much more focused operation to take these people off the road. They are dangerous. They are killing people.
Fijians have been urged not to fall for such cheap tactics. The LTA says this is a real safety risk to all road users, especially to unwitting clients who will have no insurance cover in the event of death or injury. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Minister for Economy Ayasad Kiyum says the National Federation Party should engage in budget consultations if the party is genuine about its contribution. This comes after the NFP called on the government to do away with the tax on fuel.
The National Federation Party wants the 20 cents per litre tax on fuel to be removed.
NFP obviously is known to play what we call populist politics. Trying to appeal to particular vote banks. But have they made this submission or this media statement based on an overall economic strategy?
NFP leader Professor Biman Prasad says the government has not reduced the tax despite increases in fuel prices in the last 10 months. Syed Kayum says if the NFP makes a submission, experts drafting the next budget will look at the merits of it.
Everybody is entitled to make their submissions to the budget consultation process. He's not here for some kind of media spectacle. The National Federation Party, like any other political party, any other organization, or Fiji Chamber of Commerce or Fiji Employees Federation, can give in their submissions.
The Economy Minister adds that sources of revenue and long-term implications of this one-off strategy also needs to be considered.
While the COVID-19 pandemic has hit several sectors, the mineral exploration and the mining sector have proved to be resilient against the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Acting Mineral Resources Director Raymond Mohammed says there has been a lot of interest in gold exploration. He says they are optimistic that the sector will assist in economic recovery.
The sector has the potential to be able to support the government in economic recovery, especially during these difficult times, unprecedented of times. So we're working closely with these active mining leases to be able to explore any new business development opportunities and also to ramp up production, given the favorable economic conditions.
William Wanganimba Ravi, known as Big Wheels from the Makare Band, launched his new album Railesu, meaning Look Back, on Saturday. Wanganimba Ravi says COVID-19 is a blessing in disguise as it allowed him to put his album together after being laid off from work. He says most of the Makare Band members had commitments, so he had to compile an album with the help of his close friends. There are 10 songs in the album, and Wanganimba Ravi says most of the original composers have passed on, adding every song has its own story.
We don't really know what was the story behind the music, But you can always listen to the lyrics and get an understanding of what it is, because most of them were telling a story of something or somebody.
Nandronga held Nandi to a 2-all draw in DPL. An increase in interest for Triple N Zone. Stay with us.
Oira na ngone no de nuni ena be singa ni mataka.
Mersusunga da kena loma dina kena mikron.
Sakena ngau na mitarlo bina no rabaksa ngai ka wala loma takina ngone. Dalabina oya o meliki.
Bulre oya o Samuel Samuli.
Nama kikirau ena be mataka.
Boniti kina magrombuka.
Ni boy tiri kalima na miniti me ono kina tiri na kaloko. Ena radio Fiji 1 na ndomo ibiti.
Indaw kina na mataka. Dan ramay na singabo.
The Nandronga football side is hoping to stamp its mark in the Digicel Premier League this year. After settling for a 2-all draw in its first match against Nandi at Lawanga Park in Singatoka yesterday, head coach Ramesh Sharma is impressed with how his side put a strong performance to hold off the Green Machines. Ramesh says they are still looking for the right combination to complete the Nandronga lineup as they prepare for their next match.
Well, we are aiming at least to maintain our premier status by the end of the current league season.
The return of the Triple N zone after a lapse of a year is stirring up excitement in schools in the Nausori, Naitasiri and Nasinu areas. More than 19 schools will be showcasing their athletic talents and competing for the top prize and bragging rights in the boys and girls division on Thursday and Friday at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Triple N zone officials have noted that interest from students has grown this year as compared to previous years.
They did not take part last year because of the COVID-19. The students' interest, they have been excited to be part of this Triple N zone.
Going up against some of the big names in Fiji secondary schools, Rugby League has given Ratu Latianara College a clear idea on where to improve before heading into the elimination round. The Serua-based school have been in impressive form throughout the season, giving schools like Ratu Kandavulevu School a good run. Though the under-19 Ratu Latianara side went down to RKS 44-14 on Saturday during the FSS RL Southeastern Zone competition, RLC teacher Naundela Dawai says it is back to the drawing board for them.
Told to the boys they have to trust themselves and they have to do the job inside on the playground, and they try their best to manage to take Ratu Kandavulevu for the team.
A damaging heavy swell warning remains in force for the coastal areas of southwest Bitilevu, south coastal areas of Mamanuda Group, Benga Kandavu, Batulele, Moala Group and the Southern Lau Group. That's FBC Morning News. Do join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।